Hello, darling. It's me again. How are you doing? I am Nancy. Welcome to Shamanic Heart Space. I've got an episode wanting to come through, channeled, all about the upcoming eclipse in April 2023, the solar eclipse. So those of you who've been listening regularly know this massive upgrade has taken place for me, and it's just so much information coming through. So here we are. Welcome everybody. If you're new, welcome. I hope that you all find this helpful. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And let's get into it. Please see for yourself if any messages come through for you personally, because this journey of expanding consciousness is about you. I'm just here to signpost and guide a couple of things. What's important is what messages come through for you. Please do let me know if this resonates with you. Alright, so I always like to take a nice few deep breaths before we begin. Calm down the energy a little bit. April is turning out to be quite podcast heavy. I've already got an episode available for general April energy and a bonus episode covering all of the eclipses for this year on Patreon, so do go and check those out. Alright, so I'm just asking for the information that wants to come through around the solar eclipse coming through for the Aries new moon, the second Aries new moon, this month, April 2023. Usually makes me yawn doing channeling work. Alright, so here we go. A new cycle is opening up. We're hearing a lot of that lately. And this cycle is revealing what you're leaving behind. So who you are not anymore, as well as revealing and giving a better understanding of who you are now, who you've become after all the work you've done. Because you've changed, boo. Maybe you haven't realised how much. This is a very strong energy I'm feeling. It feels quite grounded to me, actually. I kind of feel like I'm being pulled downwards by the feet and the legs, so that's good news. Grounding energy is useful while there's a lot going on in the external. Alright. So this kind of energy has not been felt, has not been available since the beginning of the world pandemic. Okay, so this eclipse is reflecting, or this eclipse season is reflecting what's going on within us. Just asking for some clarity on that, because everything that's happening in the external it's all a reflection. So whereas a pandemic happened on the world stage last time, this is the eclipse within. Alright, so the changes that took place in the outer world, the ripple effects of that are taking place in our inner worlds now. Makes sense. A lot happened in the outer world last time, and now we have brought all that home to ourselves. Now the next step in evolution is happening. It's happening within us. It's going to ripple outwards. Okay, so you're likely to feel it in the root and sacral chakras more grounded and strong. Potentially in the solar plexus as well, with growing confidence. It's quite fiery, it's quite strong energy, quite grounded energy. And being more able to hold your wisdom and your power. So the message is, don't try to cling on to old identities. Embrace your evolution. Surrender and let things go. Okay, consideration perhaps around where you've been and what has made you who you are. Honouring the old you, but not holding on to it. It's an old identity now. It's an outfit that doesn't fit you anymore. But more importantly, embrace the new you. Because the new you is really coming from the core, coming from the center, from the essence of you, your soul blueprint. Yeah, so with that more accessible inner wisdom and knowing, more access to your gifts, your talents. And probably, what your calling is, what your path is. So if you've been searching for that, for a greater understanding of why you're here, that's likely to reveal itself as you can now see yourself more clearly and stand in your sovereignty. And there's no going back now for any of us. We can't unknow, we can't go back. So just honour that old identity and let that go. Okay, so wow, this is a strong energy. Whew. All right, so we can expect sudden changes, as in new ways of thinking, new ways of being. The energy of independence and freedom is very strong in this time. Big shifts in dynamics. What was once what was once one can now part, is exactly what they're saying. I had to just get some clarity on that. So, anything that you considered a oneness, so we're talking about like relationships here, but also on the world stage, kind of like things that you came to rely on in the comfort zone perhaps. Now that doesn't mean just like, boom, here's an eclipse and we're done. Obviously this is just the beginning. All right, so especially on the world stage where we're looking at the structures, the infrastructure, banks, borders, governments. So some of these changes, will be quick, but most of the processes will take longer. So it's kind of like a quick, sudden, sharp start to a change, and then a slowing down as we get a chance to kind of marinate these things through after the wheels are set in motion. So this is inside of us, in our hearts and our energy bodies, but as well as in the external. We're gonna need to be quite flexible, especially with letting go, especially of the things that we have come to be too comfortable with, if they're holding us back from our true innovative, wise, creative nature. But you see, there's some fire here as well, so this could lead to triggering impatience. It's kind of like codes are unlocking within us, so we just can't suppress who we are anymore. So this is going to take a little while to unravel, but there's this kind of inner knowing and a bit of like impatience perhaps around just wanting to get things done, but we're going to be given time to marinate, really. All right, so we can expect a lot more people awakening. Sudden kundalini, sudden activation, sudden realizations. So as a conscious person, be on standby to be there for others who may be having sudden and strong awakenings. I don't know what your journey personally has been like. But some people, it's very sudden and abrupt and scary, and other people, well, it still can be scary, but not as sudden. So there's kind of a request to be there for people who are worried about what's happening to them, because you've already been there. You can always direct them here to my channel if that will help them to make sense of what's going on. And so, of course, you might feel this too, this new level of awareness open up in you too. This is a lot for the bodies to take on, so we've got to take care of the body, especially with drinking water, especially with resting. You can expect a lot of mood swings, so don't worry too much about that. Just eat healthy and grounding food and find ways that work for you to be peaceful and to be present. This is really important. As many of us are going to have to kind of lead others now. There's a bit of a requirement to step up and lead with love and compassion, because you've been there too. Don't get too frustrated with people who are not at your level yet, even though you might want to. Alright, so this could also lead to connection, more connection with the inner childhood, and any unmet needs from that time. So this could be triggering, sensitive. You could feel reactive. So peeling back those layers, if they're still, being peeled away for you, if things are still coming up for you in that area. So just give yourself a lot of care and attention. It's okay to say no. It's okay to have boundaries and say not right now. I can see you or speak to you at this time, but right now I need to be there for myself, hold space for myself. Yeah, so, okay, this could take you on a dive into old activations or traumas. You might feel angry, impatient, maybe even childish, exploring those things within yourself. So, yeah, this side of it is pretty personal. We're talking about family dynamics, relationships. Areas that you didn't feel loved and seen could come up now for, say, healing, to reveal who you really are at your core, having reconciled any issues around that from your past. And this is in the collective too, okay? So it could get quite loud out there, quite reactive, quite childish. People want to shout about where they came from and who they've become. So this is about balancing energy as new levels have revealed themselves to individuals, closing out chapters that no longer serve, especially with family, parents, siblings, exes, past trauma. So you've got the opportunity to choose peace now, to set your boundaries. You've got a greater understanding of everything that's happening is for us, not to us. So we can love and accept ourselves, not blame ourselves, not blame others. Let go of any guilt, any anger, any resentment, any wounds, any closed hearts. And more into love and compassion and acceptance, really. So get into your safe place. Address any of that that's coming up for you, if it does come up for you. And just shed those old skins. This feels like a real maturing process. It's, like an initiation, but you're kind of self-initiating, which is really powerful. Getting very strong, like tribal-like image here. So it's really important to be as intentional as you can going forward. So that means decide where you want to use your energy so you don't waste anything anymore. Yeah, okay. A little change here. Alright, so I'm getting Mercury retrograde. So I'm going to have a Mercury retrograde, I think, quite soon after this eclipse. I don't know, because I'm not an astrologer. and I don't remember anything. I'm an empty vessel. So this Mercury retrograde is going to give us time to slow down, to integrate these changes, to integrate this new way of being. They want me to remind you that enlightenment isn't a destination, it's a way of being, and it's a process. It's a process. You'll feel it in a moment and then you'll fall off again. You'll feel it in a moment and each time it'll get a little bit more sustained. And with this, it's like no longer accepting rubbish, quite frankly. Attracting only the best, being the best that you can be, and being in sacred reciprocity. So this is a sacred act of give and take. How giving is receiving and receiving is giving. And there's going to be a lot more of that, so lean into that. Let's bring that into the world, shall we? Okay, so letting go of things that are no longer feeding your highest good, and letting go from a place of love, not coming from the ego. So this is operating with and on behalf of the collective, not just the self. So this new level of awareness understands that the self is interconnected, is interwoven. So lean into your inspirations, your creativity, express any energy that wants to move through you. And especially if you are feeling overwhelmed, don't let energies build up inside of you and take you over and start running your mind. Express what you need to. Okay, so if you haven't already, take up some practices that will ground you and keep up with your regular practices as best you can. Don't use it as a rod to beat yourself if you miss a day or something, but this is just like general maintenance, you know. Self-care is a full-time job. I'm sure I've been talking about this for ages. But be nice to the body, gentle movement. You don't have to go hell for leather, but just paying attention to yourself and giving yourself a bit of space to breathe and be. Because these cellular updates, like a detoxing is taking place. Old stuff needs to be removed from the body, so you need to give your body a chance to move that stuff out. So you can do that by moving and eating grounding food and drinking plenty of water. All right. Okay, so the same more is going to be revealed. This is only the beginning of a new cycle. And even if the energy does get volatile, it's okay. You know how to manage your emotions now. So hermit if you need to. I'm a big fan of hermiting myself. So you might find yourself being a little bit more reactive than usual. Or other people around you too. So direct your energy to higher expressions while also keeping grounded. The energy is there for both of those things. They're not mutually exclusive. They're part of one dynamic. So there's an opportunity here to clear out or move any stuck energy, and you'll do that by keeping up with your regular practices, by making time for yourself to be peaceful and present. Wow, there's a lot going on for us. It's quite wild, actually. But it's going to be okay. This is not anything to worry about. Just allow yourself moments to pause and connect in with yourself. You really don't need to push anything at this time. Don't push anything. It's kind of taking care of itself. And so all you need to do is just be conscious, be aware of yourself, your surroundings, where your energy is going. Let any energy move through you as much as possible. This is essentially, evolution in action. And you are here now, making history, baby, birthing a whole new age. So, that's going to take some adjustments, no? Own it. So, And yeah, save this episode and come back and listen to it as this all unfolds for you. It can help you stay focused to come back to it. Okay. Wow, I feel quite exhausted myself now. So, okay, I've got more episodes on Patreon to help guide you in your awakening as well, so you can come check that out. You're more than welcome. If you want more support, please do reach out. I've got a lot of tools from my 23-year journey of awakening, and there are lots of other ways for us to work together if that feels good and right for you. I really hope that you found this episode helpful. You know, you're not going mad at all. And please do feel free to share it with someone you think could benefit from listening as well. So I'm really wishing you well, and thank you for being here. Thank you for all the work that you're doing. It all starts with you. So enjoy the ride, and I cannot wait to see you soon. Sending you loads of love.